Have you ever stopped to think about your own breath? I mean, really think about it. What if I told you that inside that simple, automatic act of breathing, there's a hidden code? A kind of map that connects spirituality, your own body, and, believe it or not, geometry. It sounds out there, I know, but let's dive into this because it's pretty fascinating.
So here's the big question we're tackling. Can one single breath, an inhale and an exhale, actually contain a geometric code? We're going to look at a very specific idea that a certain spiritual phrase, when you time it perfectly with your breathing, unlocks this profound inner architecture. So is it possible? Let's find out.
Okay, so these are the two core pieces of the puzzle. On one side, you've got the phrase, it's the Islamic declaration of faith. And on the other, you have this very precise breathing pattern. A 3-second exhale, a 6-second hold, a 4-second inhale, and then an 8-second hold. The whole system we're about to unpack is built on syncing these two things up perfectly.
So, let's start the journey. Phase 1 is all about the emptying. It's about release, about letting go, about dissolving the self. Think of it as a journey outward, and it's made up of two parts, the exhale and that first hold.
So as you breathe out, the first part of the phrase you focus on is La ilaha. This is a powerful statement of negation. It literally means there is no God, but you can think of it more broadly as there's no other power, no false idol, nothing else that's ultimately worthy of your attention. It's like you're spiritually wiping the slate clean.
And here's where it gets really cool. This spiritual idea lines up perfectly with your own biology. A slow 3-second exhale isn't just pushing out air. It's a direct signal to your body to calm down. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and digest mode. It literally lowers your heart rate, helps you release emotional baggage, and lets go of physical tension. Your body is physically emptying itself of stress.
So the big idea here is that the exhale becomes this profound act. You're not just breathing out CO2, you're consciously letting go of all the illusions, all the attachments, all the fake identities we build up. You're actively emptying the vessel, getting it ready for what's coming next.
Okay, so you've breathed all the way out. Now you hold it for 6 seconds. And this isn't just a pause, it's called the void of recognition. It's this moment of absolute stillness where your ego kind of has no ground to stand on. Your usual sense of I or me just gets suspended.
And again, the science behind this is just incredible. When you hold your breath like that, CO2 builds up just a little bit, and that has this amazing effect of quieting down all that mental chatter in your head. It boosts your vagal tone, which brings on this deep sense of calm, and it literally quiets down your brainstem, pulling you right into the present moment. It's the biology of pure silence.
So think of this hold as the critical transition point. It's the bridge you have to cross. You've just left the false self behind, and you're about to receive the true. It's that necessary, empty space between destruction and creation.
This slide, right here, this is the turning point of the whole cycle. On the left, we've just finished the emptying, right? We've let go of all the illusions. But now, we're about to shift into the receiving, where we rebuild ourselves based on what's real. It's this powerful journey from no to yes.
And that brings us right to phase 2, the receiving. We've emptied out, we've crossed the void, and now the journey turns inward. This part is all about filling back up, rebuilding, and reconnecting with the source. And it happens on the inhale and the final hold.
So as you start to breathe in, the phrase shifts to Allah, which means except God or only God. See what's happening? After you've negated everything false, this is the powerful affirmation. You're filling that empty space you just created with the one true reality, with unity itself.
That 4-second inhale acts like a gentle wake-up call for your body. It wakes up your brain, it physically expands the space around your heart, it opens up your diaphragm, and it floods your bloodstream with life-giving oxygen. It's a biological act of receiving, a conscious taking in of new energy.
So the inhale becomes something so much more than just breathing. It's seen as this act of rebuilding your inner world. You're literally reconstructing your sense of self, but this time it's not built on ego. It's built on a foundation of divine origin.
And finally, with your lungs full, you hold it for 8 whole seconds. This is the peak of the cycle, and it's called the union of presence. And the key idea here is that it's not about thinking about the divine. It's about simply being with the divine, a stable, grounded, felt presence.
And holding your breath for that long, I mean, it does some pretty profound things to your body. It lets your cells absorb the maximum amount of oxygen. It quiets down your neural circuits, it slows your brain waves, and it stabilizes your heart rhythm. This is the biological signature of being deeply calm and spiritually grounded. It just locks in that state you've been cultivating.
All right, so we've got the exhale, the hold, the inhale, and the final hold. 4 distinct steps. But now we get to the real aha moment. We're going to put all these pieces together and see how they form a single geometric pattern, a kind of mandala made out of your breath.
Get ready, because this is where it all clicks into place. According to this system, each phase of the breath doesn't just correspond to a number, but also to a symbolic shape and a spiritual purpose. The 3-second exhale, that's a triangle of dissolution. The 6-second hold is a gate of transition. The 4-second inhale is a square of receiving. And the 8-second hold, that's a loop of presence. Pretty wild, right? Let's actually build it. So let's actually build this thing, piece by piece. Step 1 is the triangle. It represents that 3-second exhale. This is the shape of letting go, of emptying the self, the negation of la ilaha. Next, we add the gate. This symbolizes that 6-second hold. It's the bridge, the void. It's that threshold you cross between what's false and what's true. It's the liminal space right at the heart of the experience. From there, we build step 3, the square. This represents the 4-second inhale. A square is a symbol of structure, right? A foundation and stability. This is the rebuilding of the self on the solid ground of reality, the affirmation of Allah, Allah. And to finish it all off, to complete this incredible pattern, we have the loop, or the circle. This represents the final 8-second hold. The circle symbolizes wholeness, infinity, and continuous presence. This is the state of union you achieve at the very end of the cycle. So looking at this mandala, this geometric blueprint, what does it actually mean? Well, this isn't just some abstract theory. It's about taking a cosmic pattern and integrating it directly into your own biology. It's about making every single breath a conscious, meaningful declaration.
And check this out. When you add up the timings of each phase, 3 seconds plus 6 plus 4 plus 8, what do you get? 21. The whole thing adds up to a 21-second cycle. And that's seen as an intentional number, a complete journey of death and rebirth, all contained in just one breath.
But wait, it gets even deeper. There's one more layer to peel back here. If you take that number 21 and you add its digits together, 2 plus 1, you get 3. And what does the number 3 represent in this system? The triangle. The very first step of dissolution. The entire 21-second journey resolves right back to its starting point. The end is literally coded into the beginning. And all of this, it leads to one single, powerful conclusion, that the Shahada, that core declaration of faith, isn't something you just say with your mouth. It's something you live, something you embody. It's not just spoken, it is breathed. So we're left with this really profound thought. I mean, if a code this intricate and beautiful can be mapped onto something as simple as a single breath, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other cosmic patterns, what other deep truths might be hiding in plain sight, right inside our own bodies, just waiting for us to discover them?